Hello, it's Bob with Bob's Bee Company of Southern Colorado. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. This video is a collection of videos throughout the year that I'll voice over and talk about. During this video there will be a code. If you find that code, you can use it on our website, bobsbeecompany.com, or the gift chateau in Canyon City to get 10% off honey products or bee products, but live bees and merchandise won't be included with that. And that'll be good through the 1st of January. This first video is in the early spring, getting a 5-frame nuke together with nurse bees and a lot of brood so that we can begin a queen rearing program. For queens, you need a lot of nurse bees, which are newborns, a lot of resources. Here's where we are introducing a queen back to its colony. She was accidentally taken out. You can see those bees just rushing over,
And if they try to ball
wanting her out.
then we know we'll just have to leave her cage. But that looks like they're glad to have her back. I don't know. We'll see. May end up killing her. They're not seeming aggressive towards her. If they start stinging the heck out of me and I throw her, then we'll know. Actually, what we may do is just open this and let them go in there. Such a weird feeling when bees are fanning on your hand.
This is a few of our mated queens. We put in a queen bank, and the nurse bees will come up and feed those queens through the screen and take care of them until we find a suitable place to install those queens. This next video, this is a virgin queen. They're very hungry when they're first released, and she's eating a little bit of honey off the top of my hand. And she'll go into a mating nuke to get mated. This was just a funny video when I was out looking at some colonies. A squirrel and a deer just hanging out in the early summer, enjoying the nice weather we had. This is a sped up video. This was a colony that the box they were in was starting to fall apart, so we sped it up just to get through this. We had to remove every single frame, put into a new box, and then kind of build it back up in reverse order. And then we added some honey supers. Just doing inspection. This was in midsummer. They were filling those 2 supers up with honey pretty well, so I added another honey super to that box. In this video it's shown where I selected a frame of larvae that I want to graft from to create some new queens. I look for eggs and larvae that are a day old. Brush those bees off. We take that frame inside, and you can see there's some emerging bees. A frame like this in the later spring will have your capped brood, your hatching bees, eggs, and larvae, and I look for those 3-day-old larvae to graft from. There's some larvae there. Those are about ready to be capped over. Those would be too big to graft from. It's just cool to see all the different sizes. There's another bee that recently emerged. She's getting her bearings, and she will go to work right away feeding larvae. See eggs at the top, different sizes of larvae at the bottom, little tiny larvae at the top. There was larger larvae about ready to be capped over. Just a little worm down at the bottom of the cell. For him, looking for the right sized larvae to graft from. I put into queen cups Those queen cups will go into our mating nukes, and they're equipped to draw those larvae out into queens because they have no queens, so their instinct is to make queens.
On this side of the yard,
this was more in the winter time, January, February.
Future expansion, and just scooter down a little
we used to have all our colonies in a straight row, and slowly, day by day, 3 feet at a time, we moved them to where they are now. It's a lot easier to work and more efficient. Here's a frame that has, you can see some larvae down in there, royal jelly, it's glistening. There's the queen right in the middle, younger queen. Another one from our mating yard, and we're checking to see if the queens have hatched. And later on we'll start looking for eggs. When we see those, we know those queens have mated and they're good to move to other colonies or sell or whatever we need to do with them.
Well, there's our queen right in the center.
Right in the center of this video, you can see a large bee, bigger than the rest. That was the queen. She just pushes her way through. Here's another one. Queen is directly in the center.
She's looking in that cell. Plop, there she goes. There's a lay. She's going to do a twist.
And the queen's laying an egg.
Sunk down in there. Some encouragement from...
Here's another video where we are grafting to make new queens. It's a nice spring morning.
I'm sure the camera is not going to pick this up. There's a little baby larvae on there. They put her in this queen cup.
Here's another video I sped up for time's sake. Removing the summer supers off of this hive. It's all honey. Used a fan to blow them out. And I went ahead and went in and did a quick inspection just to see how their stores are. There's a lot of nurse bees there for August. A lot of capped brood, which is a good thing. Nice healthy colony. Just another quick inspection that's sped up. Here's the queen. Did you spot her?
Yep. This is a...
Here's doing an acid wash or mite check.
And it's actually got a line where I'll know about where 300 bees are. I'll just rake them in. And do this over the colony, so any that fall will fall back in.
It's just a good way to check for mites.
They're just falling into the cup. It's a good sample. Set this down for a moment.
That's how we check for mites in the colonies that we want to be hygienic. We can test that and see if they're doing a good job of getting rid of the mites or if they have a high mite load.
So we'll count about a minute and we'll come back and count and see if we have mites. Because this I call it acid because they call it an acid wash. It's peroxide, or not peroxide, it's iso alcohol. Like a 70%. They say you can actually use dish soap. That's you mix with water in a certain ratio, and it's supposed to be just as good. Probably a little cheaper to go that route, but I want to be a little bit exact. So we'll come back after this and see what we got. Okay, we're back, and I don't know if that'll show up. Those little red specks are varroa mites.
So there was some dirt and debris on there. It's not loaded with mites.
10.
It's a little higher maybe than what it needs to be, so we treat for that. Here's getting into fall. This is a hive we had in Florence, and packing it up to bring it back home to the home yard for the winter. A lot easier to take care of it when it's closer to home. This is the last extraction, honey extraction of the year. It's all the supers. I think we saw this little queen before, slurping up some honey. When they first hatch, they're very hungry. After extraction, one way we don't let anything go to waste, we set the extractor out and let the bees come and clean off any extra honey. They do a really good job. Once they have that cleaned up, we'll power wash it and have it ready. There's a bee that fell into some honey. That's not her colony, but we set her on the front board and the bees came out. She's actually handing off honey with her tongue, her proboscis.
Got an orientation flight. Sign of a healthy hive in the middle of June 9th, and already this box is probably 80 pounds. It's full of honey.
Jumping back to early summer, all of our supers that were already filled by June. Gentle bees can be out there in our shorts, but I always wear a veil. Drones are being dragged out in September, and they will perish because they're just a drain on the colony in the winter. There's our empty boxes ready for next spring. And just one last view. Thanks for watching, and look for that code. And here's some quick TikTok videos from our TikTok channel. Happy New Year.
Hold up. Do baba dilly dem ding gang do la di do dum de da ga blue do do baba dilly de dem dilly dem ba da gi dam do do li dam ba la lo di gam la do di baba dilly dem ding gang do la di do dum de da ga blue do do baba dilly de dem